On a recent trip from her home to the beach, Nancy traveled in a direct path at a constant rate of 24 miles per hour. On her way home, she returned along the same path at a constant rate of 36 miles per hour. From this, we want to know is bigger the average rate of her trip or 30. If you are like a lot of test takers, you're going to assume that the correct answer here is C. And I understand why you'd make that assumption. Look, 24 miles going there, 36 miles an hour coming back. It's the same distance both ways. Well, logically, her average rate should be the average of her two rates, right? And 24 plus 36, they add to 60, and 60 divided by 2 is 30. That should be the proof that the two quantities are equivalent. Unfortunately, though, that thinking is completely wrong. To help you understand why, think about it like this. Say you walked from Los Angeles to New York. Say you did it at an average rate of 2 miles an hour. And then you took a plane home along the same route. And that plane went 500 miles an hour. Would your average rate for the journey be exactly halfway between the two? Heck no. You'd spend so many days and months, maybe even years walking from Los Angeles to New York that it would really drag down your average rate. Your average rate would be far closer to 2 miles an hour because you would spend the vast majority of your time going slowly. In other words, this problem in a sense is a weighted average. Because we spend more time going slowly, our average rate is going to be far closer to the 24 than it is to the 36. And that's something we can use to solve this without any further work. However, imagine you had a problem where you needed to know the precise average rate of Nancy's trip. If you needed to get the precise value, one easy thing you could do here, choose a distance. If this were my problem and I needed that precise value, I'd say, let the distance from her home to the beach be 72 miles. Why 72? It's easily divisible by 24 and 36. Think about it like this. If that distance is 72 miles, and going there she goes at a rate of 24 miles an hour, it's going to take her 3 hours, right? But coming home, again, it's going to be the same 72 miles. She's going to go at a rate of 36 miles an hour. That's going to take 2 hours. Well, what happens in total on the journey? 72 miles going, 72 miles coming back. That's a total of 144 miles. 3 hours going there, 2 hours coming back. That's a total of 5 hours. In other words, we travel a total distance of 144 miles in 5 hours. Well, what's the average rate going to be? Look, when we divide both sides by 5 and then double both numbers so we can divide by 10 instead, we end up with 28.8. That is the actual average rate of Nancy's trip. And that is another way that we know here that B is bigger than A, which of course makes the correct answer B.